Welcome back to Tesla Solar, the good, the bad, and the ugly, part 2. I'm hoping I can help you, and you can help me, by using my referral code, which I'm going to leave up for the duration of this video. If you were to make a purchase of Tesla solar panels, solar roof, Powerwalls, or an EV, you could use this referral code and get free supercharging, extended warranties, whatever is available for the referral program at that time. Also, by using that referral code, you help me gain credits towards things that I might want to purchase in the future. So you help me, and I help you. You can also help me by clicking on the subscribe button. Don't forget that like button, and hit that notification bell. When we left off, we were just about to get into scheduling. You're called by the scheduling department, and they basically give you a date. That date is the date they're going to come based on the teams that they have, the availability that they have, and the size and scale of your project. With my project, they said I was going to be almost 6 weeks out. 6 weeks. Now I explained to them that I've been negotiating work on this project for many, many months. And 6 weeks was really a long time. I needed it to be sooner. And they said the best they could do was put me on a cancellation list, kind of like your doctor's office. You may have to have an appointment 4 to 6 weeks out, but if they have a cancellation, they'll call you to say they have an opening, do you want it? In my case, that's exactly what happened. Here's a video that I shot back when I first thought they were coming to do the installation. This was my very first video. My solar install's happening tomorrow, about a month and a half earlier than I expected. I got a call, they made the opportunity happen, and I said yes. Of course, I forgot to check with my wife, but that's a whole nother video. So tomorrow, they're going to show up and put an 8.19 kilowatt system on my house. Join me as I take you through the entire process here on Northeast Tesla. See how excited I was? It was going to be a momentous opportunity. It was going to be great. They were coming the next day, and they did show up the next day. 4 guys, 2 electricians, and 2 guys, I guess, who work with just setting up the panels, doing the main panel installation. The electricians work with the guys putting up the panels, but only the electricians touch the electrical work in the house. So in walking them through the project, the main electrician overheard my wife and I having a conversation about the wall charger. She was asking would they be installing it today, and I said no, they're not installing the wall charger today. That's going to come after we buy our car. And the electrician said, I apologize for listening in on what you're saying, but is it your intention to put a electric vehicle to charge on this system? And I said, well, yeah. And he goes, no, that's never going to happen with this system. You have only 100 amps. This system can't support an electric car charging. That's never going to happen. And I said, no, you don't understand. This is how it's supposed to be. I explained to advisor number 1 that it was solar panels, Powerwalls, electric car. And the electric car would happen next year. I explained to advisor number 2, solar panels, Powerwalls, electric car. And the car was going to happen next year. Had anybody communicated with the engineering that was supposed to be solar panels, Powerwalls, electric car, then the engineering team would have said, wait, this system isn't going to support the electric car. You need a 200 amp service. Instead of waiting for the day that the entire team was here to do the install. Well, because the electrician was honest, and because he was upfront with me and my wife, and made it clear that making a change after all the installation was done was not going to be in our financial best interests, that a lot of the equipment they would be installing would have to either be replaced or converted over, which would be at an extensive cost to us. We were better off canceling the installation, getting the service upgraded to 200 amps, and then have them come back. which is what we did. So this is where things get interesting. You see, as I mentioned earlier, I was really clear with advisor number one and advisor number two. And because of the need to change the entire power system in my house from 100 amps to 200 amps, well, this was a financial burden I wasn't prepared for. This was a financial burden that I had not expected. So when they explained to me that there was no other choice except to go with, the 100 amp service and not be able to support a car, I got a little upset with my advisor number two. And that brought on advisor number three. And advisor number three, well, he brought on the manager from Palo Alto. Now, between the manager and advisor number three, we came up with a plan where I would hire my own electrician. They would come in, they would do the work to upgrade the system, and then Tesla would come back to install the solar panels. I made private arrangements with an electrician to actually do that work. And while I was waiting for him to come and start the work, the manager gave me more bad news. You see, living in the Northeast, we have a very old infrastructure. And National Grid supplies my electricity. And National Grid has a challenge with all of the homes adding electrical power to their homes from solar. The system is having challenges. It's not accustomed to power coming back to it. It's only used to delivering power. So they were contacted, Tesla, by National Grid saying that my solar panel install would not be able to be activated until a new transformer was installed on the outside of my home on power pole number 19. Now, this was never expected. Tesla knew that it happens from time to time, but they didn't expect it to happen on my plan. But because my system's an 8.1 kilowatt system, and because there's other solar panel systems on my block, this time they need to have that upgrade made, and they're not paying for it. That's right, they're making me pay for it. And when I say me, I mean me and Tesla. Tesla stepped up. They said, we understand this happens. It's not expected. We didn't know it was going to happen in your situation, so we're going to pay the $6,000 to have your transformer replaced outside of the front of your house. Without that, you're not going to be able to turn on your system. So we had an increase to a 200 amp service, and that caused delays. And now National Grid is insisting that a new transformer be put outside my home, and that's going to cause serious delays. So now that we have the new 200 amp service, and we're working in the background to try to figure out what we're going to do about this transformer, we're looking to push forward and have the solar panels installed as soon as possible. And of course, in true fashion, I was told it would be another 4 weeks until the install team could show up. Well, just like before, I said, 4 weeks is a long time. What can you do to make it sooner? And they said, the only thing we can do, Mr. Fox, is put you on a short list. If someone cancels, we'll call you and let you know, and if you want to pick up that time, you can pick up that time. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened. In the early morning, I was told it was going to be 4 weeks, and at 7 o'clock that night, I was told we could be there tomorrow. That's right. They showed up the next day. I couldn't believe they're coming in 24 hours. Less than 24 hours. So when I got home, my wife and I had to run around the house and get everything ready. We had to clear out space for where the Powerwalls were going to go. We needed to make sure there was space for them to work on the patio. There were a lot of things to do and very little time to get ready. But we worked hard, we got it done, and when the crew showed up, we had everything prepared for them. Just like before, a crew of 4 showed up, 2 electricians and 2 panel guys, to start working on the project. They had a large panel truck full of equipment and solar panels, as well as a van that was full of all the electrical equipment. So they went straight to work, and I mean, they worked hard. It was 80 degrees, high humidity, and they were cranking on that roof. They got the solar panels all installed in the first day, and the second day, it was all about the electrical. So the team worked hard, they worked fast, and they worked efficiently. And I have nothing but positive things to say. Even when we had one minor hiccup, the main electrician, the master electrician, he accidentally cut through a water pipe while he was trying to make room for pulling a very large cable. The cable was about that big. So, fortunately for me, when he cut through that water pipe, the water shutoff was literally a foot away. So he got the water shut off, he ran out, he got himself a coupler, he soldered in the coupler, he fixed it, it was fine, and then they went back to work. Now, in a future video, we'll see how well Tesla follows up on repairing any damage. There was some ceiling tile damage of a ceiling that I haven't been able to find tiles at all, so I'll be curious to see how they solve that problem. They also had to cut out a few things, and from what I understand, they're sending someone to the house that fixes all these types of problems. So far, everything from the installation and the team that showed up was great, except for that minor hiccup. But again, it was very minor, and I'm really happy. So now I have solar panels, I have Powerwalls, and I just need to get it turned on. So let's take a look at some time-lapse photography to show you what the whole process was like. Tesla!
We're live.
So as you can see, they were working hard inside, they were working hard outside, and over 2 days they got the entire project completed. They painted the pipes to match my house. They came up with solutions. Instead of having piping running all around my roof, they found ingenious ways of hiding the piping so that it really was a very minimal look to the installation. It looks sleek, it looks clean, it looks professional. And that's one of the main reasons why I went with Tesla. I'm excited about National Grid coming over and putting the 2 meters on. Yes, 2 meters. One is for National Grid. The other meter is for the state of Massachusetts because of the SMART program. I'm going to be compensated for every kilowatt my system generates. So there you have it. The hardware is installed, and the team that came out was awesome. We really appreciated how they treated our home and how hard and how well they worked. So now we've gotten past the installation. Now it's on advisor number 3 and the manager in Palo Alto to help us get to the finish line. We're ready for the electrical inspection on Monday, but it's really National Grid that's going to be the next phase of this project. So that wraps up part 2 of Tesla Solar, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Do me a favor, click on the subscribe button, pound that like button, and don't forget the notification bell. It'll let you know when we publish part 3 of Tesla Solar, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm Chris Fox, and this is Northeast Tesla.